What is up, budgeting family and friends? My name is Shirria. This is the Shirria Mag channel where I am documenting our six-figure debt-free journey as an entrepreneurial licensed clinical social worker with a virtual private practice, along with my husband, who is a welder. Together, we have a combined income of about $130,000. And we started our journey in October of 2023 with $305,884 worth of debt. We have a goal to have that debt paid off and eliminated by December 31st, 2026, to then start to build wealth and become work optional in 9 years. So I am documenting and sharing that journey with you guys in the form of monthly budgets, weekly budgets, debt updates, transfer Tuesdays, and I also, because I'm an entrepreneur, I share the income that I was able to earn in my business at the end of every month. And I also do quarterly net worth updates. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in watching, if that sounds like a journey that you are interested in following, that you can be informed and inspired by, please make sure to click that subscribe button so that you do not miss any part of my journey. And if you know someone else who can be informed and inspired by following my journey, please be sure to share this video or my channel with them as well so that they can be part or become part of the budgeting family and friends over here. Today is Wednesday, and it is my July week 2 budget. I'm trying to be more intentional with recording the budgets as they close out. I actually record the closeout of the budgets over here, but I also share the anticipated budgets and the budget closeouts over on TikTok in a much more condensed version. So if you're interested in more day-to-day short form content, please be sure to follow me over on my TikTok channel. And if you're interested in following my business journey or all about private practice and my social work career, please make sure to follow Shirria McCullough, I think. And both of the TikToks are listed in the description box below. So now that we have gotten all of that out of the way, we will jump right into July week 2's budget. Let's go. So on the screen, I have my budget template. This budget template was purchased from Etsy. I am absolutely in love with it. And if you are interested in this template, the link is also listed in the description box below. We budget weekly. My husband is paid on Thursday, and I am paid on Friday. And our budgeting weeks go from Thursday to the following Wednesday. So this budget started on Thursday, July the 4th, and it ends on Wednesday, July the 10th. The income for this week was planned at $2,625, and that was planned income of $850 from my husband, and he actually earned $1,567.78 after working 7 days. And then he had about 60 hours of overtime. My check was anticipated at $925 or planned at $925, and I earned $936.67. And then we had the rental income in the amount of $850, which brought our actual income for this week. Plus I had $460 in an insurance return check. And so that brought our income for July week 2 to $3,814.45. We transitioned over to savings, and savings for this week was planned at $545. That was with $50 into my high yield savings account, $50, and I did put $50 into my account, $50 into my husband's savings account, and he actually put $256 into his savings account, which was the $50 that he normally saves, but also 10% of his bring home pay. Nothing went into M1 investments for this week. $25 into our Christmas 2024 fund, $10 into my son's savings account, $30 into my daughter's college fund, and then $370 into our savings account for our investment property. I actually saved $50. He saved $256. $0 was saved for M1 investments. $25 was saved for Christmas. $10 was put into Princeton's account. $30 was put into my daughter's account, and $370 was put into the account for the home. And that brought our actual savings to $741. The bills for this week were only $342.99. And that was $333 on our mortgage. Our mortgage monthly payment is, I think it's $1336, and we pay it weekly. in the allotments of $333 and then $332.99, and then we had Apple storage in the amount of $9.99, which brought the bills for this week to $342.98. We transitioned over to expenses, and expenses were planned at $825, and that was with $150 in groceries, and we actually spent $104.97. Gas, we planned $120, and we actually spent $165.18. Beauty maintenance was planned at $50, and I spent $56.17. $50 for boys' hair, toiletries, and household, and $0 was spent there. $50 for fast food, and we spent $9.37. $25 for date night, and we spent $0. $0 for my spend or will spend. $80 in miscellaneous, and we spent $205.78. Tithe, we had planned $50, and I tithe $44.12. Car maintenance was planned at $25, and I spent $0. And then holiday celebration we planned $125, and we spent $116.69. That brought our actual expenses to $702.28. We transitioned over to debt, and debt was planned at $290.20, and that was with $40 on my American Express Amazon card, and that has a $40 minimum payment, but that card has a $0 balance. And then we just had the $250.20 for my regular Honda Pilot payment. So the $40 was snowballed. What we ended up paying was $132.75 on my American Platinum Express, and that is not debt. That was actually expenses. I've tried to become more intentional with tracking the expenses tracking the transactions in expenses on the budget template, as opposed when it actually happens, as opposed to paying off the statement balance at the end of every month, because then it shows up as debt when it really may have been like gas or groceries. I paid $452.60 on the Hilton American Express, again as expenses, not necessarily as debt. My husband paid $311.46, again as expenses and not necessarily as debt. Those two cards are the cards that we use for everyday expenses because they provide the most points and will provide the most travel benefit. Then, in addition to, we paid $582.96 total towards the Honda Pilot. Whatever the difference is was a principal payment, which brought our debt payments for this week to $1,479.77. We transitioned over to the budgeted versus the actual, and I did not do a good job of recording the rollover that we had in our checking account before we got paid. The planned income was $2,625, and the actual income was $3,814.45. The income saved was $545, and the actual income saved was $741. The income spent, which is a combination of bills and expenses, was $1,167.99, and the actual expenses were $1,040.26. And the debt paid for this week was planned at $290.20, and we actually paid $1,479.77. That left a planned remaining balance of $621.81 with an actual remaining balance of $553.42, and that might be a little bit accurate. We go up to the breakdown, and the breakdown of my income, or our income for this week, 22.7% of our income went to savings, which I like to see. 10.5% of our income went towards bills. 21.4% of our income went towards expenses, and a whopping 45.4% of our income went towards debt. Yay! We were over in several categories for this week. Gas, typically being one of them. Beauty maintenance, only by $6.17. I'm not going to review those transactions. And then $200, $120 over in the miscellaneous category. So for miscellaneous spending, it looks like we didn't have a lot of miscellaneous transactions. So the ones that we did have must have been expensive. So on the 5th, we had $8.53 on a screen protector. I had to cash out my niece. I just gave her some money. She ain't gonna pay it back. $4.78 on candy. And then I don't see any more miscellaneous. $102 in miscellaneous, and that was money to my son. And then gas. Typically what puts us over in gas is when we have filled up more than 2 cars, because the gas budget is based on how much it costs to fill up my car and how much it costs to fill up my husband's car, the car that he drives. So it looks like we put gas in my car, which was $65.18. But then we also put gas in the big truck, which was $100. And then it looks like, oh, that was it. So I guess that was what put us over in the gas category. So that is it for July week 2's budget. If you have any questions about how I'm budgeting, what I'm budgeting, or why, please let me know. List that down in the comment section below. If you or anyone you know is on a debt-free journey and they can be informed and or inspired by my journey, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share the content for other people to also like and subscribe and follow the journey. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.